Great read, She. Thank you for that.
Yeah, I heard you mention the shooting in a Pittsburgh gym. I was a member at that gym, and I was there actually about 3 or 4 hours before it happened. Um, it was crazy. That was literally a couple blocks from where I live, or where I lived at the time, I should say.
Yeah, it's scary. Like these coincidences, you know, full circle. At least you're alive. At least you're good. That's a good thing for him too.
Yeah, that could have been bad. But yeah, the gym was closed for weeks after that.
I think she's just gone out there to get a cup of Joe. But I'll drop a link in the Discord off-air prep text if anyone's handy and can throw it out. It's just a news article from here in Dublin yesterday. Just a slight preamble away from what we were just talking about. It concerns a car that was there going down the quays here in Dublin, smashed into 2 or 3 cars, but we believe it was an attempted pedestrian, something similar to the Toronto, but he wasn't able to get away. He wasn't able to get through the cars and the traffic to get onto the sidewalk. And again, a book was found in the back with a certain ideology attached to it, and the man was of a certain diaspora. Apparently, he got crazed and just decided to go off kilter, but couldn't get through the surrounding cars. He was detained on site and was arrested. But the article just reads: a crazy driver smashed through traffic on a busy city quay after a motorised rampage in which he struck a Garda car. Garda cars are police cars. The man, thought to be in his early 20s and originally from an Arab background, had been seen driving a BMW in an erratic manner in St Stephen's Green area of Dublin. He then drove at speed towards the quays, where he came in contact with a Garda car. The driver sped up Wellington Quay and Ashton Quay and then struck a taxi before coming to rest. Gardaí were swiftly on the scene and began treating those injured. A search of the car found a large number of items, including a copy of the Quran. 3 people were hospitalised during the incident, which happened around 2 p.m. yesterday in Dublin. A source said there are reports this man was seen driving his BMW erratically in St Stephen's Green area of the city. He was said to be in what appeared to be a distressed state, and he made his way down to the quays. Initially, he was treated by the Gardaí armed support unit, who were rapidly on the scene, and then he was taken out of the car by the fire service. As the area has been forensically examined, a number of detectives appeared on the scene. They are understood to be from the National Bureau of Criminal Investigation, who investigate serious crime and terrorist activity, and removed at least 4 evidence bags of items from the car. A source added that at the moment, theories are that the man was in a very disturbed state and was having an episode. He's receiving treatment now in hospital. The presence of the NBCI was part of the broader investigation. I'm not sure what the NBCI stands for. It is certainly a major incident to have a car driving like this in the city, and there is a significant concern of a securities perspective regarding car and truck attacks. You think? There's nothing immediately evidentially to say that this was anything to do with terrorism, but it must be examined. One of the cars involved was an official Garda car. 3 people have been taken into hospital. The road remains closed. We have no further information at this stage. And the article concludes. But you can see, we're already having test runs and we're having experiments. If you don't want this to happen, don't allow it to come in the first place. But we're not allowed to say these things because everybody's equal.
Hey, GT, we got some new Q.
Go for it, 412. Take us away. You got the wheels of steel there.
Sure. So we got 1262. He's responding to an anon. He's asking, is Macroni our guy, or is this all a sham? Q responds, in quotations, politics. And then he says, same for Merkel. Think movie. Q. And then we have 1263. He's responding to his previous post, and he says, think logically. Attack the world? Question mark. Are the people of France to blame? Question mark. Are the people to blame for the ruling class? And then in parentheses it says leaders/controllers? Question mark. Apply leverage strategically, one by one. Unity, power shift, rise of the people, WW, which I believe is worldwide, not understood, ? Q. So what I take from these is that Macroni is not our guy, and he's just, saving face right now to the public, trying to look like he's playing nice with Trump. Same for Merkel. And Q says, think movie. To me, this whole thing is kind of playing out like a movie. So, I think that we're going to see some plot twists and whatnot over the coming months. 1263, Q, I think, is just basically saying that we can't blame the common people in any of these countries, regardless of their relationship to the United States. It's not the common man that's causing problems. It's the ruling class, and we have to find a way to address the ruling class and remove them and eliminate them without generating more hardship for the people that they have been suppressing and keeping under their thumb. And he says power shift, rise of the people worldwide. I think that's what he's saying, is that the common person is about to take back their planet and be in control of it again. These slave gardens that they've been growing all over the world, they're about to get cut down, and it's a worldwide effort. But we can't lump in the average people from these different countries and with their leaders. Just like I wouldn't want to be lumped in with the stuff that Obama did worldwide, over the past 8 years. We can't lump in the people of these countries with what their leaders have done to the world. Anybody else have any thoughts on what these say? Because that's my take on it.
Yeah, no, I think you read that. It's pretty clear. I do wonder about the leverage. Apply leverage strategically, one by one. I mean, is he going to get each leader? I mean, I don't know if you were there for one too when I dropped the pictures of Macron on the balcony with President Trump and FLOTUS, and he was doing the the sign. I don't know what that sign is called, but he did a double sign with the two of them. So he kind of identified himself as one of the Anons that are on the channels last night. Said, "We see you," and he did a double thing. I left it in Discord off air prep text if you want to have a look at yourself. I think we already dropped it into live chat.
Yeah, I'll take a look.
Say again, brother.
Oh, so yeah, I'll take a look. Sorry, I didn't interrupt.
Yeah, so it's the double sign. I think President Trump just quite unerringly allowed him to do what he did, because I could see President Trump looking at him and didn't. I think it was kind of like a recognition. He knew what he was up to. So leveraging, applying leverage strategically, allowing him to present himself and show himself to those of us that are awake. Anybody else, the normies don't see that just yet. But this will all translate back. Future proves past. Strategically, one by one. What do you think, Foreman, too?
Yeah, I think I think that I think that's exactly what they're doing. He's letting him expose themselves. He's signaling to his people when he does that, right? He's letting his people know that he's still with them. He's letting the globalists know that he's still on their side by throwing that symbol up into the air. That's my opinion. He can say whatever he wants, but when he throws that symbol up there, he's dog whistling to the globalists that he's still one of them, regardless of what he says. That's kind of the way I look at it. And I think Trump's happy to let him expose himself to what he really is. And as far as apply leverage strategically one by one, I think this is also very interconnected around the world. And I think a lot of what we're seeing is this is the plan, right? Is to kind of one by one address these people that aren't doing the right things, that are in power. And when he says strategically, I think there's a certain order in which you have to kind of knock down these dominoes to make sure you do the job right. And I think that's what Q's trying to tell us is, we're not trying to just throw the world into chaos and hurt, and generate hardship for people. We're being strategic and methodic in the way we're choosing which targets we go after and what order we go after them. Each one of these, people might have information on the next leader that, you know, that could be used as leverage. So that's kind of how I read this.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's just have a look from our perspective now, not the normies perspective, 412. From our understandings of, and people in live chat too as well, guys. Look at his background. Goldman Sachs banker, you know, globalist banker, already in situ. Let's look at the MK Ultra, or the kind of how they grab young children or young people and corrupt them. Look at his age gap between him and his school teacher, his wife, all presented as normal. Even normies themselves think that gap is too big. And it's very scantily known that she was his teacher back in the day when he was 14 or 15. So wherever they were included, he was groomed to be in that position.
Hey guys, are you aware there's Q?